Fake grapefruits! Fake! Liar! You liar!
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. Thank you guys, everyone who's been subscribing, everyone who's been passing the internet address on YouTube, everyone who has been writing their congressmen, their senators to tell them, we're on to you guys. We're watching you. We're watching you. We want you to obey the Constitution, fulfill your oaths, and protect America. And it's having an effect. How do I know? Because this year we have been inundated, overwhelmed with retiring early Republicans who are afraid to go to the next election. And by waiting to the last minute, they're literally hamstringing replacement Republicans who have integrity, could be real Americans, and vote to protect me and you. An example, one more today, folks. That's right. That's right. Rhino Republican, shit skin, Kansas Republican, supposedly, Jake LaTurner. Well, he didn't quit, but he's not going to seek re-election. You know, I try not to say judge a book by its cover. I try not to say look at someone's face, how big or small, tall or short, dark or light. I try not to point to someone's phenotypes. That is to say, their genetic representation. You know, this is my genotype. This is what I look like because of my genes. Well, as far as I'm concerned, Jake LaTurner, I look at him, and just to judge a book by its cover, he kind of looks like a closet Democrat. He looks like he may go and watch Drag Queen Story Hour at the library from behind the bookshelves and really have a good time. I'm not happy with these fucking people, folks. But I'm glad they're resigning because they are sacks of shit. But do not forget them. Write their names in a book. Write their names down. If you're in Kansas or a state around it, he may try hiding when stuff gets really, really nasty. Now, I don't know the insiders, but insiders are now saying a huge, huge false flag is coming. The Democrats are losing so badly. Joe Biden, when I say Democrats, I mean Democrats. The run for Congress is not good. They're even afraid of losing the Senate now. That's right. Apparently, they're scared to death that in the state of Nevada could become a Republican state again because their candidates suck. And Joe Biden sucks. What better reason, excuse, validation for someone in the deep state to go, you know what? We need a false flag. We need one of those, you know, the deep state, because, yeah, oh, no, the government's fine. There's nothing wrong with the government. No, there's no secret government behind the scenes pulling the strings, or is there?
They want to eliminate what they call the deep state. The deep state is a cadre of professionals dedicated to honoring the Constitution, the laws of this country, and carrying out the policies of the Congress and the president.
Well, wait. A cadre of professionals. Not elected politicians. That's not the deep state. The deep state isn't appointed bureaucrats. It's professionals. Professional what? Professional grifters, bribers, extortionists. Well, get this, folks. Joe Biden was speaking today. He's in Philly, folks, the city of brotherly love. Couldn't fill an auditorium. I'd be surprised if there were 100 people there. And one of them happened to be a Republican who was there to harass them, or libertarian, if you will, and they had to throw him out. Biden is busted. He is broken. He is a dipshit. I mean, he is a dumbass. He can't even speak. No one shows up. Philadelphia, folks, is a Democrat blue mega city, and they couldn't even fill an auditorium. And this is what he said. Here's a gem, another Biden gem. Are you ready to choose freedom over democracy? Because that's America. Are you ready to choose freedom over democracy? Which one is he for? I thought they loved democracy. Well, look, I choose freedom over democracy because Biden's version of democracy is called communism. Totalitarian, authoritarian, despotism, communism, no rights for you. That's his idea. Are you ready to choose freedom over democracy? Because that's America. I guess he's saying democracy because democracy is America. Well, are you ready to choose freedom over it? So is he actually campaigning again? Right? You don't even know what this fucking village idiot is talking about because he can't get his own shit straight. And speaking of village idiots, a village council in the great state of Illinois, well, it has a library in this village. They have a library, and the library board, the council, city council, village council, has voted to remove a Republican from the library board. There are village idiots out there, folks. Here's your evidence because, quote, his ideas are unsafe. That's right, folks. You know it is shit hitting the fan. You know it. Because only an SHTF is opposing child sexual grooming, drag queen groping, drag queen genital exposure, and anal porn coloring books. Only people who want to get rid of that is unsafe. They actually think those things are safe in a public library. Maybe the Republican board member wanted to have someone come in and promote morals. Maybe he was proposing the idea of a Christian book reading. You know, they had that one guy, he's a Christian, he wrote a book. They tried having a book reading and he was protested and told no, you know, because look out, right? Being decent is so evil. It is on, folks. It is an amazing spectacle. I think it was Marilyn or Darcy T or maybe Bonnie Blue. I can't remember which at this moment. Too many emails in a day said, you know, it's it's that bad out there that every day you wake up and it seems to get more insane. It seems odd, but it also seems that that's how it is. Because I wake up every day going, I can't believe what we just dealt with. And now what are they telling and doing to us? Anyways, I mean, these people are that crazy on the left. Once again, I don't want to just make blanket statements. Oh, by the way, get your questions down below. You can make blanket statements, questions, comments, thoughts, predictions, observations, whatever you want, and get them in the comments. Mr. Uman will put them in here at the second half of the show. Tomorrow will be the free-for-all Friday, but today, just a regular, every day, you won't believe this shit. So, these left-wing lunatics, I don't want to just say they're left-wing idiots in libraries, in Congress, in the military, at the Pentagon. I don't want to just make these blanket statements. I need evidence to show you why you need to have food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense as part of your plan. I give you facts, right? Republican Representative Jim Banks was talking to the Columbia University. Columbia, the president of Columbia University, asked a question why in a pamphlet, a book, a handout, a trifold, whatever they had, I think it was a little book, the school spelled the word folks, F-O-L-X. Right? By the way, folks, right, is German, means people. So, but they used it F-O-L-X because the woke tards, they use that to refer to a gender neutral, people neutral type word. In other words, they're taking all of the real words, continuing to do this, and changing them and giving them new meanings. It is newspeak. That's right, George Orwell's newspeak. Animal Farm, 1984. We'll get to more Animal Farm in just a few minutes. But the president of the school denied that this was a specially phrased book, and actually made the suggestion that, well, maybe they can't spell. So it's a fucking university. You can't spell a simple word like folks. They can't spell, really? They're so ashamed. And this is probably a positive development in our SHTF quest for getting the hell out of it. People are sick of these fucking idiots. So they're like, they're so ashamed of their wokeness. Well, they can't spell. Can't spell? Oh, okay. How about this? You're just ashamed of your wokeness now. Denying it. Lying about it. Not being open. And remember, folks, to deny is to silence. And to be silenced, silence is violence. So I guess the Columbia University president is now a anti-woke, violent person for denying its woke ability. I don't even know what the president's gender is. Good God. Just unconscionably unbelievable. Right? Now, this, I can't tell you, this kills me. When I was a kid, a child, a young teenager onwards, I kept hearing about all the starving kids in Africa, in Asia, around the world. People are starving to death. They would love to come to America. My mom would say, you should eat your food because there's starving kids. My mom didn't say that. We, as kids, said that as a joke, and my mom tolerated it. We now have people coming to America by the millions, not the dozens, not the hundreds or thousands, even by the millions under Joe Biden. We're up somewhere between 12 and 15 million fucking illegal immigrants here, mooching off of all of us. And these stupid, ungrateful bastards have the audacity to complain. In New York City, at their city council, illegal Africans who are here mooching off of all of us complain, quote, the food is no good at all. This is free food and free housing. They want luxury apartments. They want luxury hotels, luxury condos, and they want you to pay for it. I have a solution for these fucking people. The food's no good. You don't like the accommodations? Go the fuck back to your own country. Folks, I'm going to vote for Trump one big time because I do not cheat like fucking Democrats do. But I will go vote my one time. And my vote is to send these bastards out of our country. Hey, if you agree, thumbs up. Thumbs up the video, period. Wow. Thumbs up for free speech, folks. Thumbs up for free speech. Now, I mentioned George Orwell a minute ago. I mentioned the book 1984. I mentioned the book Animal Farm. On Animal Farm, everyone on the farm is equal, but some animals are more equal than others. Well, get this, folks. Speaking of, educational books, learning, at a middle school in America, somewhere in America, libertarian kids have decided to stand up, stand strong, and I say support them. These kids walk away from public shit schools. Now, at this school in America, somewhere out there, right, students, middle school, we used to call it junior high back in my world, middle school students walked out in protest because the principal, the administration, the school board are allowing furries to be furries in school and to terrorize other students. Now, first off, what is a furry? It's a kid who identifies as an animal, a dog, a cat, a hamster, a squirrel, a raccoon, a giraffe, a fucking rhinoceros, a horse. Who knows? But furries. And these furries are doing what to other children? They're biting them. They're barking and making animal noises. They chew on sticks. They scratch at people. And in fact, in the bathrooms, they have a kitty litter box because they're furries. Kids have had enough. Good. Walk away, folks. Support them. Support them. It's just so fucking stupid and off the hook now. It truly is. You know, I remember seeing when my kids were in school, and high school was from 2014 through 2020 for my kids. But this is at a middle school. But I would take my kids to school, drive them in, right? And I see a kid with like a raccoon tail or some kind of animal furry tail at the back of their pants, and then some kind of ears on their head. And I thought, well, it's some kind of dressed like an animal day at school or something. Fucking ridiculous. Anyways, this school is actually not in New York City or California. It's not in Illinois, the Chicago area, or Baltimore or Philly. No, it's in Payson, Utah. Right? Mount Nebo School, Payson, Utah, is where these furries are now showing up. And the kids have had it. They've fucking had it. They're holding signs. Compelled speech is not free speech. That's a great thing. Kids are holding signs. We just want to live, to learn. It's unbelievable. I'm glad these kids are standing up for themselves. Right? Thank you, Mr. Ooman. He knows more than he doth say. Reportedly, one of these furries was the principal's kid. Why am I not surprised? Why? Right? And Ooman says, so he was biased, ignored the problem. I don't think he ignored the problem. I think these fucking idiots, the ones I have heard of and kind of been around and met, it's like, they believe that. And so they allow their kids to act like fucking idiots and assume other identities and other genders and other thoughts, right? And other pronouns. If parents said, look, you're fucking stupid, shut up. You're a kid. Go do your math. Learn to read. Think, for Pete's sake. But no, they don't do that. They don't do that. Anyways, thank you, Mr. Ooman. Yes. Kids, what? Okay, I will, Mr. Ooman. Get your thoughts, get your questions, get your comments down below. We're going to continue. But these furries, are you kidding me? Furries. And so the students have had enough of this shit. I'm sure that all of the Democrat pedophiles and Democrat bestiality types are loving the idea of children pretending to be animals. If you can convince a child that they're no longer even human, well, I bet you can convince them of all kinds of things if you're a perverted Democrat. And that's what they want, right? They're grooming them. They're converting them into something else. That's what they're doing. They're converting them. Isn't that just amazing? Now, we're in a big fight, folks. A huge fight. It's a fight to get the people to go vote. Mr. Ooman has been very insistent that every time someone says red wave, and a couple of days ago, some idiot started the Q stuff, the QAnon crap again, right? Oh, there's coded messages out there. That means it's coming. You know, don't give me this coded message shit. We all have one job to do in November, and that's go vote. Now, before the voting, I would like to ask you to accept another job. And that job would be, please go out and talk to people and tell them to vote and why it's important. Ask them if kids should be having sex in school. Ask them if kids, right, should be having brawls in school, fighting and beating up teachers. Ask if kids should be raping other kids in schools, because that's what's going on in schools under Democrat policies. Should kids have graphic, pornographic cartoon books in school? No. I mean, just pointing to the kids. I thought it was about protecting children. Well, for me and you, it is. But for Democrats, it's about exploiting children. But we need folks to send a strong message. And I really believe that Biden can be defeated because he's a fucking idiot. No one's voting for him. It comes down to me and you voting, all of America voting, versus the cheating Democrats, bringing boxes and boxes of fake ballots and counting them at the polling stations. We're not battling against other liberal, idiot Democrat voters. We're battling against the cheaters. It's obvious in the polls Trump is winning. It's obvious by the lack of flags out there, banners, bumper stickers, lapel buttons, baseball hats. There are no real Democratic voters out there. I mean, they're out there, but it's a smaller number than represented or appears to be in existence due to the voting. We have to defeat the cheaters, not the true Democrat voters, because there's not enough of them. They're cheaters. Now, Senator Rand Paul, who has been ratcheting up his efforts. Thank you very much, Chin. I'm going to get your message here out in a second. Senator Rand Paul, he let Trump know. He warned him. He said, you will lose your voters if you continue to support Speaker Johnson. Who's Speaker Johnson? The Speaker of the House, MAGA Mike Johnson. All the Republicans need to wake up. You need to either be for liberty or resign. And Trump needs to not support anyone who is doing what Speaker Johnson is doing. They're all being exposed as frauds, and that's why they're either resigning or they're not going to run again. If you act and vote like a rhino Republican, you're going to be exposed, and so they're quitting. But Trump needs to quit supporting these loser Republicans. America First Republicans. How is it? How is it America first? If you, as the speaker, put together a Ukraine aid package that allows Biden to forgive half of the loans on November 15th and forgive the 100% of all loans in the future. Why are we giving Ukraine money in the first place? Why would we loan them shit? Well, because it's a shakedown. If Biden and Speaker Johnson give money to Ukraine, they know they're going to get some on the back. I have no doubts. I don't need to doubt this because that's what they do. Ukraine has been demonstrated again and again as a money laundering country. Sam Bankman-Fried laundered billions of dollars. In fact, a lot of them were your dollars in your retirement fund that went through his little company and just disappeared. And Trump needs to quit supporting and talking good. He needs to be out there condemning Speaker MAGA Mike Johnson, because he's not MAGA. He's not Make America Great Again. How is giving money away to Ukraine going to make America great again? It is a surrender of American principles to do such a thing, and it is fiscal treason against us. We're already trillions in debt. $1 trillion in new debt every 3.5 months. What is going on in this fucking country, right? Speaker Johnson, in this wonderful Ukraine bill, well, I tell you what. All these Republicans, folks, need to be exposed. I was really hoping that Mike Johnson, who is now Speaker of the House, would at least put on a good showing of pro-America first. No chance. Apparently no fucking chance. All righty. I thought maybe Okay, I'll share. There's a picture of a gerbil with a ammo belt around his neck and holding a miniature M60. And it said gerbils during Pride Month. Yeah, that's a reference to Richard Gere losing a hamster in his ass from years ago, and it's still funny. Still funny. Yep. Thank you, Mr. Chin Music. That's nice. Poor gerbils and hamsters being ritually sexually abused by these LGB fruitcakes. Now, folks, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who I used to call Big Marge until she sold out, until she fell under the spell of, well, coercion and extortion, and said, we need Kevin McCarthy as the Speaker of the House. Well, he's a sack of shit, and he quit. He got kicked out of the Speaker, and then he quit Congress. Don't worry, he's making a shit pile of money as a lobbyist. I'm sure he's taking a lot of warm showers with Frank as well. Now, anyways, Marge Taylor Greene is continuing to try and do good things for America. And so I will continue to point out that she wanted a shit-stain, shit-heel like Kevin McCarthy as Speaker. But when she does something good, I'll give her credit for it. And she has introduced multiple amendments to this, well, Speaker Johnson Ukraine bill. What these amendments do is divert aid to our southern border, and 100% of Ukraine funds go to supporting Americans in this country. American impacted by disasters in particular. And I thought, disasters in America? You mean like the Biden Southern invasion? Now, what I want to know, and I haven't heard yet, is will MAGA Mike, is he going to support these amendments from Marge Taylor Greene? Or will he prove to us that he is a sellout, rhino sack of monkey shit? Or monkey spunk, if you will. That's what I'm wondering. Is he going to go, oh, yeah. Well, you know, I'm just trying to do a good job and work with my Democrat friends across the aisle, our good friends. And no, they're not your friends. They're not good friends. They're not good Americans. They're pieces of shit. But you can see why we're in SHTF because of these people and what they're doing. So good on Marjorie Taylor Greene to put this out there to show that rhino Republicans need to be kicked out of office. I'll tell you what, Democrats need to be kicked out of the country. They truly do. They truly do. Let me give you an example of one. Ilhan Omar. In case you didn't know it, that nasty thing has a daughter. And her daughter identifies as an angry black girl. Well, I thought Ilhan Omar was Somali. That's a nationality, folks. Kind of like being a Canadian or a Mexican or an American. She's Somali, but she identifies by skin color, not nationality. Anyways, her name is Isra Hersey. Yeah, there's a fucking fine name. She's been suspended, and I find this very amusing. And she should be deported as well as, well, suspended. Because at her college, folks, she was suspended over her pro-Hamas occupation. That's right. They wanted to protest and take over the college. Does this idiot, this Somali invader, she's like 21. I don't think Ilhan has been here that long, so I don't think she was born here. Maybe she was. Maybe Smelly Han Omar has been here that whole time, and she stinks, folks. Anyways, this idiot Somali invader, she claims all manner of stupid for her profile and politics. Right. I'm an organizer with Columbia University Apartheid Divest. In my 3 years, I have never been reprimanded or received any disciplinary warnings. I just received notice that I am one of 3 students suspended for standing in solidarity with Palestinians facing a genocide. Those of us in Gaza Solidarity Encampment will not be intimidated. We will stand resolute until our demands are met. Our demands include divestment from companies complicit in genocide, meaning Israel, transparency of Colombia's investments, and full amnesty for all students facing repression. Why would these students need amnesty unless they're fucking criminals? Students facing repression. Let's see, you're making demands at a college. You're obstructing, right? At one fucking point, didn't kids go to school, young adults, to get an education? Folks, that's why shit has hit the fan. It's not about education now. It's about taking young skulls full of mush and cleaning their ears out with, I guess, a fucking egg beater and a vacuum and filling their head with absolute rubbish and then saying, now go protest. That is not an education. That's not what fucking college is supposed to be about. Unless you understand Marxism and how it uses youth as muscle for their revolution. Now, this kid, Isra Ilhan Omar, idiot. This is a fucking idiot. She should be deported immediately as a threat to our republic, a threat to American customs, and a threat to national safety. As far as I'm concerned, she's a terrorist who hasn't blown herself up yet to harm real Americans. Maybe that's next. Maybe her solidarity will help her that way. It's unbelievable where this country is going, folks. Unbelievable. So here we are, 30 minutes in. Time for you guys and what you have to say. Your topics, your concerns. Let's take a peek. Thank you, Mr. T, for the great intros, transitions, outros, and everything else. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, well, here we go. Uman didn't even give me a chance. He's like, take that, bam. Corsair trainers. He found this and sent it to him, Uman, this morning. A15 action. This is a political action committee, a group. This is a political group. A15 Action is a group that coordinated the blockades on Monday. Folks, the left is much more coordinated and unified than we give them credit for. Now, and you can go here and see what they are all about. Go to www.a15action.com. Now, what I want to do is I'm not necessarily arguing with Corsair, but the point I have, and please leave that internet address up there, Uman. Democrats are not organized. They're a bunch of grabastic pieces of shit. What they are is they are moldable morons who have gone through the public education system, gotten into college on student loans they have no intention of paying back. And they are being rounded up and sent to do blockades of roads, bridges, tunnels, highways, cities, businesses, government organizations like, I don't know, city council, state legislature, block everything. Now, the Democrats, or at least the ones we see on the street, they are not the organizers. They couldn't organize a fucking sandwich. Okay, let's see. We need bread with mayonnaise, and lettuce, and maybe some meat and cheese, another piece of bread. They can't even organize a fucking sandwich. But people like, I don't know, Zuckerberg, who interfered in the 2020 elections, and George Soros, a foreign scumbag who interfered in our elections, they have a lot of money, And so they can pay people who actually know how to organize. So this organization, A15 Action, is funded by the likes of idiots on the left with a lot of money, and they are the organizers. So yeah, go take a look at them and see how well they organize, and see what they promise money. I don't know if A15 Action promises money, but many of these protests, they pay people to go out and make life miserable for others. It's an act of terrorism. They pay terrorists to make your life miserable, to interfere in your life, in your economy, in your world. They pay them. These organizers get paid. They're funded by Democrats. They're funded by Democrat billionaires and millionaires. Go see what they're about right there. A15 Action. That's who they are. Now let's leave that one up, if you will, because I really want people to go take a look. Don't take my word for it. Don't take Uman's word for it. Listen to what these fucking people say and admit. When you hear them in person and read their shit and see their videos, these libs are fucking out of their mind. Here's a great example. Please leave that up, Mr. Uman. Darcy T sent this as an example. Libs of TikTok on Twitter X. People are now identifying as gender season. Now there's gender season, which means gender is connected to and changes with the seasons. Darcy says, we have a serious mental health crisis in this country. Yeah, no shit. Gender changes with seasons. And she asks, how low can we go? Well, Darcy, we're not there yet. We have a long, long, long way to go before we hit bottom. We hit bottom. And you can't teach them. They won't learn. Right? Facts be damned. Facts don't matter. Now, understand this, folks, and I'm going to borrow a little more from Darcy T, who sent this to me as well. The ridiculousness, the cost of listening to people like A15 Action, the cost of listening to Biden is death. It's death. They are a cult of death, a religion of death, a political organization of death. I'm not talking about abortion, even though that applies also, but we're losing young people to the Jim Jones juice. You go ahead and you decide if this is one from the Pfizer files. In Albany, at age 25, a football star is now dead. Kid grew up, became a super athlete. A.J. Simon is his name. A.J. Simon, dead at age 25, 1 week before the NFL draft. He could have been a superstar. Now, folks, he's dead. Now, the reports that come out, unconfirmed as they are, state that he died of a heart attack. Big surprise? Super athlete dead at 25. Well, thank you for that, Pfizer. You know, was it Pfizer? Well, I don't know. I'm sure you have your own opinion. I'm sure you do, folks. I know what I know, but these left-wing people are idiots. Now, A15action.com. Here's another example, right? While all these other things are being shut down, guess what? They tried shutting down Google too. That's right. Google employees ended up getting arrested inside of Google headquarters because they had a protest inside the CEO's office, and they were there demanding that Google cut ties with Israel. Once again, just like Ilhan Omar's daughter, we need to punish Israel and punish corporations now. Now, this is interesting, right? They're now going after corporations. They're going after schools, right? Right. They want to punish Israel. They've kind of quieted down. They've quieted down their let's kill all Jews, murder all Jews, destroy Israel from the river to the sea, and this and that and the other. Right? They've quieted that shit down because it was getting them, well, told you're never going to get hired in corporate America. You're never going to have a fucking job because no one's going to hire you. You are a terrorist, sack of shit, piece of shit supporter. So instead, they're demanding that people defund Israel. How do you defund a nation? How do you uninvest in a nation? In any event, they're demanding Google cut its ties with Israel. What I recommend is in 10 years, everyone who is somewhere between the age of 50 and 30 years, and if they claim that they're Democrats, they need to be asked where they were in 2024. Were you handcuffed on a bridge? Were you in a college shouting and screaming death to America? Right? These people all need to be held accountable, period. Period. And I can't wait to be part of the solution, folks. They're the problem. I want to be part of the solution. Anyways, Mr. Uman, thank you for doing that. Thank you for leaving that. Uman has something to say, and usually it'll get you. The left is organized and has the minions to carry it out. Well, the left, the leadership, I'll say the leadership in the left, right? The money, the funding, the leadership. The ones we see on the street, those are the minions. They have the minions in the schools. But those people, they don't know shit about leadership and organization. It's money. They're paying people with money who know what the hell they're doing to organize these fools, send them out. They all go out, they get arrested, they get kicked in the face, kicked in the nuts, whatever. But there's always more minions that show up, and they can send them over here and send them over there. They're organized, yes, truly. The leadership is organized across the country. The left is organized in that aspect. But the ones we see, I'm letting you know, aren't organized. They're a bunch of, once again, grabastic fools running around. They don't know how to do anything, folks. They can't even fucking think. They can't think. They can't read. They cannot logically explain what gender is. So they're like, you can just be whatever you want. No, sorry. That's not reality. Not reality. In fact, I've got some kittens that are free I'm giving away. They're at the zoo. They're in the lion cage, but they identify as kittens. So all liberals need to go down and go pet the kittens and see which one you should take home with you. Anyways, Uman says the point is our side, meaning Republicans, doesn't have any organizing, funding, or carrying out anything. Well, Mr. Uman, you are correct. We tried that. What happened? January 6th, the left counter-organized a bullshit operation. Nancy Pelosi was complicit. Prove me wrong. They denied bringing in proper assistance and help to deal with real protesters, or rather real terrorists. But they did bring in police, FBI, agents provocateur, and even Antifa, because I saw them wearing Antifa bullshit and changing in the bushes into Trump clothes for the January 6th protest. We organized. We, the right, organized. And what became of it? People got arrested. Thousands of fucking people got harassed, and at least 1,000 were arrested. Hundreds have gone to prison. 300 now are being tried for obstruction by being alive in Washington, D.C. They have punished being organized. Now, we've organized in the past. Remember that thing called the Tea Party? That was a cute little play on the American Revolution, Tea Party. We had the Tea Party. Where are they? Obama attacked them. Obama sicked the IRS on them. They politicized the bureaucracy to attack us. They have punished patriots, gone after parents trying to stop, Parents organizing and going to school board meetings, punished. They have FBI agents show up at a fucking school board meeting to intimidate parents and drive them away. Republicans can organize, but what happens? You go to a town hall meeting and you get arrested if you start using words that are offensive, or the boards get up and leave. They don't give a fuck.
May I chime in?
Ha, you're on. I was wondering if you're going to come on.
We just hold on here.
There it is. Anyway, yeah, the ability to organize is there, the desire to do it, but I think fear has driven Republicans out of the organized public protest scheme. What do you think?
I think you're proving my point exactly.
Well, that's great. I'm helping you out. Okay.
That the whole point is,
yes,
when somebody goes and attacks the left for doing these kind of things, they double down. They're not scared. They put together these bail defense funds and stuff. So these people go out and they know they're going to have support if they get arrested.
Correct.
You know, they got the additional support of the government being on their side and prosecutors not prosecuting and all those things. But the right is nowhere near the point of organization or determination to stand up to these people and make that change.
Well, see, if you or me were to go out and organize and then go and do a protest, we go to jail. And the prosecutor will prosecute us, and the judge will hammer the fuck out of you, and you will go to jail and get ass fucked by.
Okay, and how many people on our side went and protested every day outside of the prisons where all those J6ers were at? See, the problem is nobody's got each other's back on this side. Over there, they got each other's back, and they will double down on protests, and they'll make a bigger and bigger and bigger stink until they get their way. There's nobody on our side willing to do that. And that's
it is,
the
in
problem.
my opinion, because of government. Because it is so obviously politicized that they will punish us. The left, one, they're being paid to be there. I don't get paid if I protest. No one's going to pay John or Uman. They get paid to be there, the minions. Would you dispute that?
No, not at all.
Okay. Yeah, so there's no financial incentive for me to do it, whereas they've got no job, no life anyway. So they're being financially incentivized and then protected. Yes, someone's got their back.
And you don't think there's anybody on our side that could be financially incentivized? Why is there nobody on the right doing the same kind of thing? Why is there nobody determined to stand up against this and finance this the way the left is being financed? If the left can do it, why can't the right?
It's a valid point. Now, I am not a millionaire, so I cannot finance that kind of thing. You know,
no,
finance it. Say again?
Nor can I.
Right. So where are these Republican millionaires? Now, I heard that many of them are now supporting Trump because they want tax credits or tax cuts.
Yeah, I put up that story the other day where there was a story that a bunch of these billionaires that abandoned Trump after J6 are now all of a sudden fundraising for him again. And the reason cited in the story was that because, you know, they expected the Trump tax credits to get renewed and keep going, and now there's no sign of that. So they're jumping back to the side that's going to make them more money.
Right. Correct. Yeah. For them, it's about their money.
Yeah.
There's no money in it for the millionaires to have protesters out there. Apparently, they don't see the value of that. I just, yeah, they don't see the value. I can't see any other way. They just don't see value in it. If they did, they would support it.
What value are the Soroses, for lack of a better example, of the world getting for funding all this?
Well, that's their army. They've got their brown shirts, their Hitler Youth out there causing havoc, screaming in people's faces, driving people to either run away or just get away from them. They're winning that battle.
But what is their financial benefit?
Oh, there is no financial benefit. They want to destroy America.
Yeah, well, it's an ideological battle for them. Why is there nobody on the right as ideological to, fund the same type of battle? That's
Well,
what
the
I keep
Democrats want
struggling
to
with.
destroy America. Where's the people that want to save America?
Yeah.
Well, the millionaires are going to make their money whether or not they win or lose. It's just how much do they get to keep and how much taxes. They're willing to support Trump because, well, I'm sure they're also the same guys willing to fund Democrat candidates. So either way they win. They're millionaires. They're super rich.
That's why I keep saying that we're underestimating the left's ability to accomplish this stuff, where, if things go all to hell, they're going to have the mechanisms in place and the people in place willing to follow them that the right just doesn't have.
Well, yes. You said we're underestimating them.
Yeah. Their ability to organize and protest and overrun things. I mean, the power of the mob. I don't care how stupid these tail-wearing furries are. I mean, you still have that power of the mob. They're going to come out in numbers that you're not going to see the right counter.
Right. I do not underestimate them or undervalue the effect they're having. It's just, how do we counter that? How do we counter that? We can't counter it because no one's going to put up the money and no one's going to go out there and protest against them, because when they do, the cops stand by when they get assaulted by Antifa or BLM. They get it, even if you're not arrested and thrown in jail, you're still assaulted and beat on. I mean, that one guy, Andy Ngo, who's gay, by the way, who wants to report on all this stuff, he was actually hospitalized with brain damage. They attempted to murder the fucking guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. But, and that's where, that's just the problem that I have here is that, everybody wants to think that, we're more powerful and we have all the guns and all these things. But you know what? They have the power of the mob. They have the power of the mob that doesn't question what they're told to do. With our side, everybody questions, oh my God, if I go and do this, am I going to lose my house? Am I going to lose this? Am I going to lose that? Correct. So we're nowhere near the point where the right is going to be ready to stand up for anything. Even if they steal the election so blatantly, Trump loses and Biden gets back in for another 4 years.
Correct. Until you are pinned in a corner, you will not fight back.
Yeah.
Until I am pinned in the corner, I will not fight back. Because the moment I start fighting back the same way they do, I go to jail, I get arrested, I get prosecuted, and I get sodomized.
And they don't.
Or they like being sodomized.
Yeah, or they enjoy it.
But you're correct. I have something to lose. As little as I have, it's something. You have a lot to lose. A lot of Americans have a lot to lose. They own property. They have cars, jobs, reputations, a life they've built. They don't want to lose it.
Right, and everybody knows no one will have their back. Where on the left, they know somebody's got their back.
Right. Well, I mean, if you go on Gateway Pundit, which is a very popular big website, they're always trying to raise money, but there's hundreds and hundreds of J6 protesters in jail. How can we support them all? Send them all $1? I mean, how's that going to help them with $1? How do you stop this machine? The bureaucracy owns the courts.
The only way you can do it is by overwhelming them with continued action. I mean, get so many people arrested, they got nowhere to put them anymore. That's basically what happened in the Summer of Love. There were so many people out there, they couldn't have put them all in jail if they wanted to.
Right. But I mean, they couldn't have. They could let's see, take a closed down Walmart and make a mass jail out of it. I'm sure they would do that for us. Look what they've done for January 6th protesters. They've so blatantly violated every single component of the Declaration of Independence in order to silence opposition. Let's go the other way. Let's imagine this, man. I just want to throw this at you real quick. This is a good one. You'll like this. Imagine if January 6th, all those protesters chanting, waving flags, and Mike Pence actually objected and didn't sign, and we had a big victory. We meaning the Republicans, Americans. that would have emboldened us to go, yeah, our protesting worked. Ooh, man, it worked. And more people would probably be willing to join it, probably be willing to support it financially. But they smashed it so hard that people were like, fuck that. And here we are. Yep. 4 years later, the same people, lots of them still in jail, still no trial. 4 years, they can't figure out charges to bring them up on. So, I mean.
Well, again, you know, I mean, leadership or whatever, it's all part of the left, and they're not stupid, and they are well organized.
Yeah.
Whether the people on the ground are or not, we can't minimize the level of organization that these people have and the resources that these people have that we don't.
Yeah. If I was a 90-year-old communist Marxist fuck with billions of dollars and I know I'm going to die any day and I want to destroy America, why wouldn't I, knowing I'm going to die any day, George Soros, right? Blow all of my money fucking America right in the ass by spending millions and billions of dollars to pay for all this.
I don't understand why, if you have that kind of money and you're that age, that you give a shit about it anymore. I'd be enjoying my life sitting on a beach drinking hurricanes and whatever, and I wouldn't be still in Congress today. I wouldn't be doing any of these things. It'd be like, hey, I did my time. I got my money. Now I'm out of here, and I'm going to enjoy what little I have left
George
of the rest of my life.
Soros' son is Alex Soros, who is now in charge of the organization. If you understand, and I know this is going to, we'll end the show with this kind of stuff. We're now going to go to the world of occult practices and principles by super wealthy people. I have studied this and wondered, why is it that a family dynasty continues and exists? Why do they do what they do, make the decisions they make? Because they believe they're going to be reborn as a child of their child, as their own grandson or granddaughter. They believe they're going to be reincarnated through their genetic line. That's why they give a fuck. George Soros, and this is from my research, George and people like him believe he's going to be reincarnated as a Soros and that he will re-inherit his own money, right? This idea that, well, when you're dead, you can't take that money with you. These fucking people believe they can take it with them by being reborn through their sons and daughters 1 or 2 generations later, and that they're recycling themselves through their own bloodlines. This is what they fucking believe. It's not my story. It's their story. So that's why they would do that. He thinks he's going to come back in a generation or 2 and enjoy that he fucked up America.
And you got to just, in the meantime, worry about your progeny fucking it up for you in the meantime, huh?
That's why they will brainwash their own children. These rich fuckers. Ritual, psychological and sexual abuse. If you've read into this, and like I said, once we turned down that corner and went around this road, it gets fucking weird. Because you ask the question, why wouldn't he be enjoying a fucking Mai Tai, a cocktail in the sand, keeping his toes warm, enjoying life? George Soros could afford all the Colombian hookers he wants, right? Why wouldn't he do that? Instead, he's out here politically battling it out like he's got his whole life ahead of him.
So it's staging the world for his next incarnation, huh?
That was brilliant. Brilliantly said. Yeah, trying to set the stage so that when he comes back again, reincarnated, he can take advantage of it further. And the French believe that, the English believe that, the Germans believe it, all of the aristocracy, they believe that.
Is that also why they all inbreed like they do?
Yes. Precisely. Now, there's more to it. You've heard about kings, and a king or a duke, they'll go out and fuck everyone they can. They'll fucking put their dick in everything and impregnate every woman they can, whether they're noble or common, because they don't want their genetic line killed. If they only have one son or one daughter, they may not get reincarnated, they think. So they want to fuck everything and have as much DNA out there that they could reincarnate through if they have to.
Oh my God. I never heard this before. So this is something new to me.
Yeah, look up Pindar, Pindar, Pindar on the internet.
Pindar.
He is a fucking snake. Anyways, the story of Pindar helps support this idea. These people have these belief systems.
All right, Al. I got some homework tonight then.
Why is it that Bonnie Prince Charlie, look up Bonnie Prince Charlie, he was the bastard son of the King of England, I believe. And he felt that even though he's a bastard son, that he has a right to the throne because there were no other heirs. And so they try killing each other off to get to the throne so they can get that money back. It's like, what makes you think you get to be king just because your dad screwed a handmaiden, knocked her up? But no, I'm in line, you know, and there's something in their fucking heads. And I actually believe they're probably right, that they are being reincarnated. Because they're continuing, and the inbreeding, right? They're getting more royal blood and more royal blood, more royal blood, more royal blood. So they're like, hey man, I can dive back into anything. They're fucked in the head. Now, whether or not this is true, I don't know. Whether or not it's real, I don't know. What I do know is they're fucked in the head. We have the evidence of it.
I think that's indisputable.
But yeah, they pay people, rich, super rich, royalty. They pay people to wipe their own ass. Literally, that ass wipers. I'm going to go take a shit. They pay people to do this. They're too fucking good for it. So yeah, they pay people to organize these groups for them. And then they go after these brainless minions who don't have a care in the world, and they're being supported. They've done it for so many years and decades now. They own the courts, the district attorney's offices, the police. They own these organizations by funding them and buying votes by giving money. That used to be called a bribe, I thought. Anyways, you're correct. They're willing to do that. They're willing to stick it out there. The people in the leadership positions are very well organized. They have books on organization. The website you had, perfect example. They even advertise now openly for crisis actors to go participate in these events that turn out to be real. It's weird as fuck. Truth is stranger than fiction, and we live in interesting times, brother.
Oh, yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Anyways, yeah. If you believe, if you believe, or if you read what I did and then believe it, you're the wacko. I'm the wacko because I read what these people believe in. I'm the wacko for reporting what these fucking people believe in, that they're going to reincarnate through their own bloodline. That's why their bloodline is so important to them.
Yeah, personally, I don't necessarily believe in reincarnation, but I think there's something to be said for genetic memory.
Yes.
That's all.
Yeah, I think they're absolutely out of their fucking skulls. Is it possible, this reincarnation thing? Sure, why not?
No, anything is possible, but
right. A lot of people argue that Jesus taught about reincarnation, and other religions, they all have reincarnation, and you'll be born again, yada yada yada, and that's a whole fucking other thing, right? But the fact that these rich people have their belief systems, and their belief system is that they're going to be reborn into their own genetic lines, and so therefore setting up a dynasty, paying all your money out as you're getting older to make sure systems and organizational groups are in place to support you and your family and your wealth and your power and your control. 200 years ago, they cut the fucking king's head off in France, the queen, the empress, every aristocrat they could get their hands on in France, they cut their heads off. Those people went, whoa, whoa, whoa. You guys can have democracy and be self-governing. It's not that they wanted to give up that power and control over us and treating us like slaves and starving us when it suits them, because that's what King Louis was doing. He was fucking starving all the French people. Finally, they rose up and fought back and then cut their fucking heads off. So after that, they're like, hey, you guys can govern yourselves. All the while rebuilding all of their wealth, getting control of corporations, banks, resources around the world, all that imperialism, so they can control it. And here we are 200 years later. They're like, you will own nothing and you'll like it, man. You will eat the bugs, right? You'll take the injection. You'll do everything we say. We own you. They're now coming out and saying we'll kill 90% of the fucking planet. We don't care. We're going to wipe you guys out. We got drone armies. We got drone weapons. Fuck you. We're going to put this shit in your food so you die from it, because they want us gone. They want to control everything, and this is their plan. It's taken a long time for me to get to this understanding. Whether I'm 100% right, I doubt. But based on what they say and their systems, I don't know how I could be 100% wrong.
Well, it's an interesting perspective, and it would explain a lot if that's what they truly believe and why they do the things they do instead of just going peacefully into the night.
That was my thing, is why the fuck can't they leave me alone? I'm one little man. All I want to do is put my toes in the sand, have a fucking umbrella drink at the end of the week, and just enjoy life for a few fucking hours. But I can't. I've got to fight my way through a line of fucking idiots protesting Palestine in order to get to the beach. And if I look at someone wrong, I could be arrested for calling him by the wrong pronoun. It's stupid. Yeah, but that's what they're doing. They're taking everything away from us. Why? Because they're greedy, hate-filled cocksuckers.
Yes, sir. Well, I didn't mean for this to take over the whole segment today, but it is.
I don't care.
Definitely been a very interesting conversation,
because it creates more dialogue to think about. If you would like to rant and cuss for a little bit, go ahead.
I've done enough ranting and cussing today, so I'm good.
You're too polite, man. You know, all of you guys on this show, everyone who comes here, I know that we're all passionate about things and we express it differently. It's just, you know, why? Such a good question. Why are you people continuing to do this? Right? Researchers have revealed that the mRNA Jim Jones juice contains components that suppress immune system and stimulate cancer growth. This has come out. Why is Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, why are these companies putting the shit out there when they know what it does? Whoops. Sorry about that, everyone.
Well, it definitely plays into depopulation. And my first theory on this whole thing was sterilization, which we really haven't gotten far enough into it to see if that's been in effect. But there have been reports that this, you know, people are having problems getting pregnant more often than used to.
Even more frequent,
yeah.
Infertility frequency has become higher. You know, the amount of cancer out there. There's doctors claiming there's lots of cancer. How do I know? Because statistics lie, right? How do we know the fact? They hide the fact, they obscure the facts.
The only thing that I trust that we can look at is if you look at the year end when they compiled the death rates. Okay, now if we're running it at steady pace. I did this analysis a while back when everybody was claiming deaths were up 25% and all this other garbage.
And you found that it was bullshit.
Yeah, and it was actually less than previous years when you look at everything on a percentage basis. So I think the only numbers we could look at and really somewhat trust are the overall death stats at the end of the year. It doesn't matter what people died from. I mean, if, okay, maybe less people died from the flu this year, more people died from cancer. Maybe, you know, more people had heart attacks, fewer people got hit by cars. I mean, you just got to look at the biggest number you can find that hasn't been picked through and sorted through and, you know, manipulated, and just say, okay, every year in the U.S., X number of people die. Last year it was this year it's what? So I don't think I've seen any 2024 or 2023 numbers yet to compare to 2022, but that's really the only thing we can look at. And does it really matter why people died? If we see an increase there, we're going to know there's a problem.
Right. Well, I mean, we have a lot of anecdotal reports, right? We have morticians saying, you know, I'm pulling these nasty, filthy clots out. And then someone else says, oh, that's common. I don't know what is or isn't common because I'm not a mortician.
Yeah.
Right? The statistics, do they lie about it? Everything that I talk about, they want to label as misinformation and silence me and silence you and silence anybody unless you're carrying the political line that they want, which tells me there is an agenda and they are trying to silence us because they don't want our truth out there.
Right, but the right does the exact same thing. They pick and promote statistics and facts and figures and other things to promote their agenda as well. I really honestly don't trust alt media any more than I trust regular media.
Yeah, because there is a lot of stupid out there, and I think a lot of them are plants. I think a lot of the people pushing a lot of the shit on the right are complete, and they're being paid. They're paid opposition to make us look stupid. They're paid opposition to get people riled up and send them off in directions and spun off where it does no good. I think they want to do that, to distract. It's a psychological counter operation.
Yeah.
Isn't that counter intel pro? Anyways, this is huge.
Intel Pro or whatever. Yeah.
It is huge. This entire movement. It involves politicians at the highest level, international, national, state, local, schools, military, lawyers, fucking cops. They're all pushing in the same direction. To me, that says conspiracy. How can anyone be that fucking stupid and push that hard and throw money at it and throw people at it and be willing to sacrifice children and sacrifice the fucking country? Why? See what that question comes back. Why, man?
That's the question I don't have an answer to. I mean, I don't have an answer to these things that I'm bringing up. I don't have the solution that's going to fix it all. I just know that what all these people on the right are pushing isn't going to fix it. It's a grand fantasy. It's a great prepper fantasy, or it's a great, whatever, but it's not going to work. Like we discussed at the zoo, I mean, the one solution that this guy says is going to work, it's not scalable. It's not going to work everywhere in every environment, East Coast or West Coast. Everybody's got, different priorities and wants, and every community and size of city is different. There is no simple solution that you could boil it down to and say this one thing or this one person is going to fix it.
There's an economic principle, I think, that we can apply to this. The solution for high prices is high prices. The higher the prices go, they'll bring more people into the business, and they'll compete for it, and it'll bring prices down. The solution for low prices is low prices. Everything gets lower. People are like, buy that shit up. Right? If they were selling Teslas for $1,000, they'd buy them up. There'd be none left. Then there'd be a shortage, and that would bring the price back up. So the solution for this anti-Americanism is anti-Americanism, more of it. It'll create the situation whereby we get to whatever happens, and that will solve the crisis. The solution for all of the corruption in the Roman Empire was it destroyed the Roman Empire, and the problem's gone. Roman Empire's gone.
Yeah, I saw a
in other words, it'll solve itself.
Sure, eventually it will, but it's got to hit that extreme. I saw a video this morning about Bill Maher interview where he was talking about how the immigration thing has gone too far because now we got people in the streets of America chanting death to America. But he was all for bringing those people over here when they were shouting death to America over there.
Yes, he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah. People in general are idiots. These people on both extreme ends of everything are idiots. They don't see their own hypocrisy. They don't see the global effect of what these things are going to do. Oh my God, look at us.
Okay.
Running 15 minutes over already.
15 minutes over. That's correct. That would be Mr. Lucas, my son, showing me my grandson on the phone. The solution for idiocy is more idiocy.
Yep.
Because they will destroy everything and burn themselves out and get themselves killed.
And the idiocy has to become obvious to the biggest idiots before it has the effect of going the other way.
Yes. Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say great conversation, and thank you, Oliver, for coming back on and spending the time to talk about this in depth. I love these discussions, debates, and just bringing all, being a devil's advocate and bringing out both sides and comparing. But the solution is more idiocy.
Yep.
The solution is more SHTF.
And we're going to get it.
and we're going to get it. God bless you, man.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. I'll let John close it out.
Thanks, man. Bye-bye.